What's up people, it's your boy Chaotic with another Genshin Impact video, and today I wanted to go ahead and create a video revolving around possible raids and the potential that 4-player and 8-player raids could have in this game. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking and commenting below, as well as subscribing to show support for the channel's growth. We also have a Discord where we are building a community of travelers who discuss topics like this as well as various other ideas, so please join the Discord and become a part of the family. Anyways, let's get it poppin'. So I've been thinking about the raid potential of this game for quite a while now. Genshin Impact has a unique elemental battle system that could create some interesting puzzles and boss fights if enough time and care is put into an entire dungeon dedicated to this. Destiny is the best example out there. Its raids contains puzzles that require teamwork and critical thinking in order to accomplish them. So allow me to share some of the ideas I have for Genshin raids. Let's begin. Prior to beginning the raid, each player would have to lock a character, as each character can only be used once. At the character select screen, you will be warned of the required elements and weapon types, as some puzzles would require specific elemental activation or weapon pressured attacks to complete. Once you enter the dungeon, we'd be greeted with mobs unique to the region the dungeon is located in. The dungeon would begin in typical fashion, a bunch of mob slaying and boss fights such as the Ruin Guard tier type of monsters. But the difference would be that these bosses would be element-specific variations that you can't find in the open world. They will also be much stronger than the usual variation of these mobs. Enemies that would normally be defeatable by one player will now require a squad of 4 or more players with high tier builds, depending on the monster. After defeating the enemy, this will begin the activation of a puzzle phase where you and your teammates must solve a puzzle in order to proceed through the dungeon. Hints would be given visually or in the form of text to help you solve the puzzle, but these hints wouldn't be easy enough to guess quickly. Additionally, if you fail to complete the puzzle in a specific amount of time, another boss will spawn of the same difficulty, and the purpose of this second boss is to make the dungeon even harder by forcing your squad to require the use of food buffs or healing materials. Once you finally proceed, you'll be forced to complete a series of puzzles and boss fights similar or of harder difficulty before finally facing the raid boss. This boss will be unlike any boss you fought in this game. This boss will require various elements, and timing would be required in order to deal significant damage to the boss. You'll need to utilize elemental combinations at the right times in order to break down a shield and participate in a DPS phase, where the most effective elements or elemental combinations would be the only elements that could harm the boss. Otherwise, you could risk possibly healing the boss or dealing damage to your own teammates. With each DPS phase, the boss could change elements between 2 or 3 different elements. In some cases, you may even need to trap the boss in specific areas that make the shield break down much faster. Now, what kind of rewards could you get from this, and is this event worth it? Well, once you finally defeated the boss, you'll all collect rewards that are exclusive to this raid. 2 new artifact sets would be introduced with each raid, and this would be an opportunity to introduce the ability to earn gold weapons. Depending on the difficulty chosen at the beginning of the raid, the possibility of obtaining gold artifacts of these exclusive sets would become much higher. The most beneficial part of this raid would be that every single time that you earn a gold artifact, you'll also earn a gold weapon. That would increase the benefit of actually participating in these type of events. The rest of the items that you'll be rewarded at the end would be fodder such as 4-star artifacts and weapons. This would also be another good method to completing the constellations for specific characters depending on the region of the raid. That's right, you would earn the items necessary in order to complete your constellations, but this would be a very rare drop. So what do you think of my little raid idea? I've spent a lot of time trying to figure out the best way to articulate this and put it into the right form of words, but I'm not even sure if this is something the developers are willing to add, but I'd love to provide feedback and hopefully encourage the developers to create something like this within Genshin Impact, because it would be mind-blowing and absolutely fun to add to the co-op aspect of the game, as right now there isn't really much co-op within the game. Anyways, if you enjoyed the video, please consider liking and commenting on the video with any opinions you have of my little raid idea, and don't hesitate to provide ideas of your own in the comment section as well. If you'd like to support the growth of this channel, please consider subscribing as well. Anyways, you all have a fantastic day, stay healthy and stay safe. Chaotic.